Tell me what you see.
A circle of white light that's taking me somewhere. And the background is purple.
You're standing in the center of a circle of white light?
Yes, but it's small, it's not too big. It's a circle shape, but it's flat, so I can stand on it.
Is it a column of light? Are you traveling up or side to side?
Side to side.
Who are you with?
Angels.
Do you recognize the angels?
Archangel Chamuel. And my guardian angel Rebecca.
And do you know where they're taking you?
I say the hall.
Can you be more specific?
It's a big building. It's all white. Again with columns, but it's different than the other ones I've seen. And there's pink flowers all over the building. It's made of marble. And there's 2 jut-outs with 2 separate sets of stairs. It's a very big building.
Why have they taken you here?
Because there's souls waiting to talk in a room. It's like almost like a meeting, but it's more comforting. It's not as serious or excited. And it overlooks a garden, and then there's water in the back like an ocean. But it's much prettier than Earth.
Have you gone inside the building?
Yeah, I'm in the room.
Who are the souls in the room that want to talk to us?
Mother Mary's here. An angel named Annabelle. Archangel Michael's here. So is Jesus.
What would they like to talk to us about?
They're waiting for our questions.
Would they like me to start with our questions now?
Yes.
We have a general question about this weekend's shooting in Texas. And was this in any way created so we shifted our focus off of the Las Vegas incident that had many unanswered questions?
God is coming. He wants to talk. It is, and it isn't. As there was much greater plans for this, targeting specific groups as people are acting out in ways that are just unacceptable, in ways that one normally would not. But many souls are feeding off of the tension of others, the anger of others, and are doing and acting in ways that they once would not have. The soul is taking his anger out on these innocent individuals, but on earth he was a sick man. He had many imbalances, very much bipolar. He would act in fits of rage. This he thought through, but he thought through while in one of his fits. The Las Vegas shooting was much different. But the shooting has helped to shift attention. All of these things are bringing up many mixed emotions, different beliefs, but I encourage you all to not overreact, to sit back, take the time to listen. Listen to those around you, taking in their opinions, as well as staying true to your beliefs. But I encourage you to learn from others. Listen, no one is wrong. You all come from different backgrounds, different belief systems. Know that this can be a positive. You all adapt with each other, learn with each other. Instead of fighting, needs to be solutions. Instead of pointing fingers on the Republicans, the Democrats, those who own guns, those who do not, those that are mentally ill, those who are not, we need to sit back, look at ourselves, look at what we have done to help the situation or trigger more anger, more violence, more arguments. Everything in life is a lesson, and it's how you choose to react to it that matters. This was an awful thing that was done to these innocent people, this innocent town. But know that it can be looked at in a way of learning what needs to be done, who needs to see things differently. There is learning from it, but know that he is learning, and know that those lost souls are celebrating back home, reunited with loved ones who have crossed over before them, knowing that they are in a much happier place, knowing that their souls had signed on for this very long ago. They had this planned. This was meant to be for them, as they were paying off karmic dues, learning lessons, teaching their families, teaching survivors lessons. If we can try as human souls to look at the larger scheme, look at the bigger picture, I encourage you all, as I know it is not easy. But all I ask is for you to try.
Is there a larger agenda with gun control in our country because of this incident? Is the incident premeditated, or is it created on the other side? Is it just something that was going to happen anyways?
Well, it's all part of the plan. It was going to happen, but it's raising conflict with gun laws, teaching other lessons, whereas the Las Vegas was a little bit different.
Would you explain how that was different?
As I said previously, it was planned. It was poorly planned, but not by me. Not on the other side. Planned the under societies, the underworld. This was premeditated. It was poorly planned. So much evidence proves that there is more to the story than what they are showing. However, if you can understand on that higher level that these same individuals have their own so-called God, Creator, who knew that this shooting, the church, would take place. So it did not matter, because they knew that the attention would very quickly be shifted to another instance, another act of violence. But also know that Mother Earth has to shake off the negativity before there can be peace. Know that Earth is in a much better place than what the media makes her appear to be. Don't fall into the fear. Seek your own inner truth, your own love. Put the fear to the side, as the fear is man-made. Fear does not exist back home. Know that you can give into it and fear more, or you can acknowledge it, push it to the side, and engage in love, encouragement, optimism, positivity. This is what happens on Earth. The big lesson: you always have a choice. As you Earth souls, human souls have signed on for this long ago. The underlying theme, the lessons on Earth, has to do with the decisions and the choices. There is never a day and never a second that goes by that you do not have a choice. You are not making a decision. Breathing alone is a decision, is a choice. Knowing that this was something that was created. But I encourage you all to seek love, stop fighting, stop yelling at each other, stop pointing fingers. As I love you all, and back home, we all get along. I know Earth can bring up tension, bring up anger, but accept it and let it go.
Did the gentleman that did the shooting in Texas, he was in the military, did he fall through the cracks when he left the military? Was he not?
No, he was already mentally ill long before, but so often it is not seen. They are not given proper medication or proper treatments.
Thank you for answering your question.
Yes.
We're going to move on to our relationship questions that we posted on our groups.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a question that so often in society we hear that opposites attract. Is this true, and why?
Mother Mary's. It's true, but at the same time, many who are very similar are also attracted to one another. It's what your soul is signed on for. However, many souls choose opposite personalities, opposite interests, because on earth you're here to learn. And this helps the soul to learn. Many times, souls may not be interested in those that are exactly like them or share the exact interests as them, because they already know this, they've already learned this. And those who share complete opposite interests, personalities, likes, dislikes, intrigue to them, or they are intriguing. It's all learning. And many times souls learn from those who are not like them. Doesn't necessarily need to be spouse, can be friends, even family members that they are closer to, but yet they are nothing alike, or they appear to be nothing alike, but knowing that we are all one, there is that underlying oneness within each and every human. Even though they may appear to be different, we are all the same. We all want love, happiness, peace. Oh, it's a learning.
Before we come down, when we create our contract and our agreements for our lessons when we come here, do we predetermine who we are going to meet? And will they just show up in our life and then we marry them or create our relationship? Or does it happen chance?
It depends. There is no one answer to this question, as some souls are so closely in connection. Their mission is to spend their lives together. Others came down for this lifetime, other lifetimes, for the excitement, for spontaneous decisions. Although each marriage, each spouse, each relationship symbolizes different lessons, there are the instances where these individuals weren't planned. There are many times when the right individual, the right soul is waiting. However, the other soul continues to choose the wrong person, and they may spend that entire life without the person they were supposed to be with. This all has to do with the free will. Therefore, this question is much more depth. There's many answers. There isn't a right or wrong. It all depends on the individual's life that they are choosing, the theme they are wanting to live, whether they want the safety, the security, they want to live life on edge. They don't necessarily know what they want. They are just here to learn. It all depends. Before, there were many souls that were planning to spend their lives with one individual, but now, as souls are becoming more and more evolved, more used to, let's say, the earth life, they may come down with less of a life plan. Their life chart may not be as in depth, as they are leaving more wiggle room. As we say with relationships, there is never a 100% yes or 100% no, because the free will. And as I said, even if there was a relationship that was planned before these souls came down to earth, sometimes they still do not end up together, because living on earth can get you caught up in the negative feelings, and they may choose to follow these things, not listening to their intuition, which will guide them to this person. So it really depends. But I encourage you to follow your intuition. Follow the gut feeling that you receive about individuals, even if this person appears to be the one that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Listen to your gut. Your gut, your intuition, knows the real answer. Know that you never will be alone. The human soul is what causes this. As they put walls up, they do not let the past go. So we can see in this way that there is always someone else waiting, someone better. Just following the intuition, not following the looks of the individual, the personality, following how you feel about this person, how you feel about this situation. Following your intuition, not necessarily your heart in all situations. Times you need to follow the gut.
That would lead into our next question about letting troubled relationships go.
Yes. So often, and it's hard for us to watch, but souls fall into a reoccurring path where they're in one violent, abusive relationship after another, which in some cases was part of their life journey, but in other cases, their soul becomes so hurt by these earth emotions, these humanly emotions, that they fall into this trap of thinking that they're not good enough for anyone else, that they will never be able to find anyone else, or that they do not deserve anything better than abuse and this heavier energy. They stay because they feel trapped, they feel like they are not good enough. They're afraid that they will not find anyone else and they will spend their life alone. So they'd rather stay in a relationship with someone who is abusive, someone who lies, someone who cheats, than to take the risk going out on their own for a little while. This is one of the biggest lessons. Being able to be one with yourself. Being whole alone. No other individual will ever make you feel completely whole. You may be in the best relationship, but if you don't feel fulfilled with yourself, the relationship will never feel fulfilled. So I encourage you all to love yourself first. Be brave enough to be on your own, and then you will find that right relationship. There are many relationships that are absolutely wonderful, and I'm very happy for those. But I'm talking about the ones where the individual soul stays because they are afraid to be alone. These are the relationships. These are the ones with the big challenges, the big soul lessons. So if we can acknowledge our self-worth, knowing that you deserve so much more than this. We acknowledge that you deserve so much more. Your loved ones are encouraging you. They are giving you these signs, whether they are in your dreams, they are in signs on the road, whether they just give you those gut feelings. They are encouraging you to get out, to leave, to stand your own. But it is up to the soul on earth to listen. We love to see souls on earth happy, but just know that this happiness is nothing compared to the happiness on the other side. So the souls often miss this happiness without even realizing it. So our job is to make your lives as easy as possible on earth. But know when life isn't going easy, it's because you are not listening to us. You are not meant to stay in these relationships. No, you are so much better than that. And we see so much more worth, love, and light in you.
What is the view of God on our marriage requirements through our church, till death do us part? That's really strict rules we have down here when we marry someone.
Yes. Jesus is still here. We never intended for the rules to be so heavy. However, when power is involved, individuals make rules in their way to be controlling. That is all part of the earth lessons. We do not hold souls accountable if they divorce one another, knowing, as Mary just discussed, that in many circumstances we are encouraging to separate, as the souls may once have been good together, but now they may just be better apart, or may just need a break from each other. We do not hold anger towards this. There are many times we encourage this. However, we do encourage that you try to make it work. In most cases, you can make it work. But when the individual is lying, cheating, abusing, both verbally and physically, this could be male or female, you do not deserve that. Knowing that these laws, in sense, are gibberish. They do not matter to us, but once again, they fit into the theme of choices. You can choose to stay just because it says so, or you can choose to leave, in a sense rebelling against the rules. It is all about following your heart. In sense, love does follow you to your death, or how humans view their death, because love never dies. So the love carries over to the other side. In part, I do understand those who made these rules. They were just misinterpreting it. They thought because love carries on, they thought that it had to be with the two individuals that started their lives together, when really the love between these two will never fade, as love flows through each and every one of us, each and every human soul, even when you do not know the other. Everyone is connected. There was a misinterpretation, but also some are very power hungry, like to be in control, and want others to follow in their footsteps just because they said so. So this is another choice. Do you listen, or do you follow your own heart? I encourage you to follow your own heart, following what feels true to you, what your soul wants, what your soul desires. You do not need to listen to these rules, even though those who are devout Christians may believe that you are creating sin, acting sinfully by leaving a marriage, knowing that it's okay if individuals are mad at you. That's their choice, not yours. Their anger should not bother you. It's a big lesson, not allowing the opinions of others to interfere with your life choices. Whether these are laws, whether these are just opinions of mom, dad, your spouse, your friends, family, society. We encourage you to do whatever it is that you feel right, as long as it is from a place of love, from peace and happiness.
Jesus, I would like to ask if you were married while you were on the planet, while you walked among us. Were you married?
I was.
Who were you married to? If I may ask.
Mary. But this has been hidden by priests as by high-ups in society setting rules. This is things that have come about. I know they have risen to the surface, and it is true. However, the church wants control, wants power, and does not want their priests to be married. So they use me as an example, even though it is a misunderstanding formed from a lie that one chose to make because it would have suited their needs at that time.
This is Mary Magdalene.
Yes,
Did you have children?
I did.
Your lineage is still here with us today?
Scattered throughout the world.
Thank you for answering that question. I went off track a little bit there.
Yes.
How do we attract our soulmate or our twin flame?
Rebecca. Gabriella's guardian angel. Society has created soulmates, or the idea of what they believe soulmates are. However, soulmates are the almost identical imprint of another soul. Very often, your soulmate does not come down to earth at the same time as you, or if they do, they are on complete opposite sides of the world. There are the cases, as we discussed before, there is always the exception. It's becoming more and more common in recent years. However, soulmates are much different than what humans believe that they are. You have a soul group. There are many individuals that you have spent many lives with. If you want to say these are your soulmates, in human sense, you can. They're really just your soul group, kindred spirits, those you have spent many lifetimes with and will spend many times more. Other universes, does not matter if it's on Earth, back home, wherever it may be, other missions that we will have down the road. You tend to work with the same people, the same souls. This is why you sense a familiarity with certain individuals, because you remember them from other lifetimes, back home. Everyone is connected though, so you can interchange your soul group. Some souls choose to be with the same soul group over and over. Others choose to be with one soul group and then go to another soul group. It really does depend, but a soulmate is not necessarily just the person you're spending your life with. Soulmate can also be a friend, but once again, it's the soul group. Those people that you feel you've known forever, that you just connect with on another level. They are your soul group, but on Earth, you misinterpret this for soulmate. I refer to them as kindred spirits. In a sense, you probably would not want to be with your soulmate, as they are the exact version of yourself. It's as if you had paint on your hand, and then you put your hand on the paper, and it formed nearly an identical print. There are not many lessons to learn from your soulmate, as they are a part of you. However, as we continue to ascend, there isn't as many souls who are learning. Many souls are just coming back down to help. to lead by example. That is why many soul mates are living on earth at the same time now.
So the soulmate and the twin flame, they're the same?
One and the same.
Okay, thank you. A question on getting stuck on looking for a particular type of person when that person is unhealthy for us. Why do we have a tendency to do that to ourselves?
Because you are unhappy with yourself. When you are constantly in a relationship, a recurring cycle with individuals who are no good for you, and you know they are no good for you, it's because there's underlying issues. You are struggling with something in your life that you feel that this is the only thing that you deserve. So you go for this individual again and again. For those who are not necessarily struggling internally, but just have a specific type, we also encourage this to not be the case. We discourage having a specific type, as you are setting walls up to some pretty amazing souls, amazing individuals, and oftentimes you find that those who are in relationships with the one that they marry, or some who are divorced and find another relationship, they often say that this person was nothing like their type, because often you don't know what your type is. Listen to your soul. It's what your soul speaks to you. What does your soul desire? Not the looks, not the personality. It's about your soul. So often we get caught up in what a person looks like, how tall, what their weight is, their facial features. And we forget, look at their soul, whether they are a good person, they have core values. We forget these things at times, which we understand back home. That is all part of earth, the learning, the lessons, as I myself see this with many individuals that I have worked with. There are many times that you struggle on earth to stay in one specific category, and there are so many others, so many individuals who are waiting for you. So I encourage you not to get stuck on a type. Break the pattern, break the cycle. Earth is for learning. Try new things. Acknowledge the pain you feel as to why you are staying in abusive relationships that are no good for you. Take a step back, tune into your own soul, see what is hurting, and then you will be able to heal.
Thank you. Our next question is about how do we work out karmic issues with people we have a relationship with, be it husband, wife, father, son, sister, if we don't remember the issues from our previous lifetimes.
Jesus is stepping back. You work them out due to your life theme. Many times, souls will be overly nice to an individual, or the complete opposite, and it's all about balancing. Many times a soul is not aware of what they are doing, but don't worry, it is balancing it anyway. People are brought into your life for a reason, even those souls who you feel leave too soon. There's a karmic due that is being paid. Maybe in another lifetime you left them too soon. Often souls are thinking too much into it. Just relax and know that you are already handling it on a much higher level. The work is already being done. You have nothing to worry about. Those relationships that are hard, siblings, spouse that you're always fighting with, family member, know that this is also part of your karmic dues, but knowing that you still have that choice to not act out in anger, just let it go. Acting out in anger is only hurting yourself. Why let them do this to you? Why let the anger hold you back, hold your soul progression back? Instead, just be calm. Take a step back. It's their choice, their decisions, not yours. Just know that most of the time, your soul has created different events in their life chart that will even out the karma. Some lifetimes, there's only one individual that they need to work on the karma with. Other lifetimes, there's many more. 50, 100 people. You never know. Depends on your mission. It depends on what and where your soul is at. Those many individuals who die in tragedies all at once are paying karmic dues, both to themselves and to their loved ones, society in general. Now there's a much greater plan as we are working to a higher vibration, a higher frequency, as Earth has so greatly succeeded already. But know that there is still a long way to go. And know that these karmic dues are just raising the vibrations, the frequencies of Earth, and also with the individual souls. So don't think too much into it. Just know that those who constantly cause you anger are a test. Do not fall into it. But also know to stand in what you believe in and what is right. You do not always need to push things to the side. Just don't let it get yourself worked up. Stand up for what you believe is right, as long as it's from a place of love. Know that in most cases, you are already working out your karmic dues. Whether it was through adoption, through divorce, through the fights, the realizations, the friendships, the laughs, the happy times and the sad times, know that it is all working on a much higher level, and not to think too much into it.
Thank you. Why are some of us simultaneously attracted to two similar people? I guess if we're here and we become attracted to two.
You're part of the same soul group.
Okay. And why would we be attracted to someone when it seems they are unable to meet our relationship needs?
Because you care for them on a higher level. You may share a close relationship with them on the other side, but here they are struggling, as Earth is a challenge. Earth isn't an easy place, and you know and you remember on the other side that amazing soul that they are, and even though they are still that amazing soul in the human shell, it's much harder to see it. So that's why you feel the urge to continue to go back to them or to continue to help them, because you remember their greatness. And you see their greatness.